Okay, we are live streaming.
Live. Woohoo.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to the Mass Media Tribe Meetup on Zoom. We're streaming live into Facebook right now. Welcome for those that have never seen a Mass Media Tribe event before. Normally we live stream into the Mass Media Tribe group, and tonight we're doing something a little different. And you can actually join us if you would like from Facebook. You can join us on the live Zoom. If you would like to, just go to the link, which I will pop into the chat shortly on Facebook. And let us know if you're watching this too. Where are you watching from right now? And what are you grateful for? We've got the Global Good News Challenge happening at the moment. There's the link for that one. And also, in Eventbrite, you will find the access to all our events, okay, in Eventbrite. So I'll get that link up for you, and you just pop in there and you'll see tonight's event. Just register in there and you can get the Zoom link from there, okay? So here's the link for that for those watching on Facebook. Welcome. There we go. Now, tonight's very exciting. We have the amazing Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart here with us, and we're going to be talking about access super consciousness for media success. We also have the phenomenal Michelle Lee here from the Dream Architects. Great to see you. And Michelle has just had her second radio spot on Juice 107.3 FM today, the second spot in 2 weeks, mind you. Very, very exciting. So we'll hear more from Michelle as well. Now, for those of you who don't know about the Mass Media Tribe Meetup and what this is about, I actually started these events back in 2018 on the Gold Coast. They were physical events, and the whole idea was to help people get their marketing message out in a very cost-effective way. So every month we've been doing regular events where we've had speakers come along and share different messages around marketing to help people build the confidence and the courage to get themselves out there. And at the physical events, we were charging $10 to $15, depending if you bought online or at the event. And we had also some events in Brisbane as well. So Gold Coast, Brisbane since 2018. Now, since COVID, everything has gone online. And last year, I actually was doing 2 of these events every month. So we had one every 2 weeks that we were doing. And this year, we've gone to monthly events online on Zoom. They're absolutely free since they've been online, and a fantastic way for you to promote yourself and also to hear from some phenomenal speakers. And you can win prizes as well at the end. So traditionally, these events go for 2 hours. We'll see how we go tonight. We might finish a little bit earlier tonight, depending on who comes on. And we're just going to go with the flow tonight, and we will see how things roll out. So a little bit about me for those who don't know me. My name's Alternate, known as the Media Queen. I have a media business on the Gold Coast that I've run for 20 years called AA Expose Media. And I've got 37 years media experience on radio, TV, and print media, and also now do a lot in the online media space as well. I have my own online TV show called Media Queen TV, and I share inspiring stories on that. So I'm a big stand for truth and good news in the media. I've personally had depression over the years, and I've had 4 friends take their own lives by the age of 45. And the stats are worldwide, about 1 million people a year take their own lives. And since COVID, we've had more of that happening. And so I started a Global Good News Challenge during COVID last year. And every month we have different challenges where people can share gratitude and good news through Facebook Live. So if you haven't done a Global Good News Challenge yet, I encourage you to pop into that link that is in the chat there. And on Facebook, you'll see I'll put the Global Good News Challenge link to the Facebook page, and pinned to the top of the page is all details on how you can get involved. Please, if you do a Global Good News Challenge, make sure you hashtag Global Good News Challenge with your post so that we can share the post onto the Global Good News Challenge page. And we will also add you to the Global Good News Challenge Facebook group as well, so you can hang out with the other Good News Crusaders and get more inspiration over there as well. So it's fantastic to see people from all over the world have done this challenge now. And I know, Michelle, you've been doing this current May one. We've got a 5-day one, which you can actually start anytime up until May 7, midnight May 7, wherever you are in the world. You can start 5 consecutive days of Facebook Lives where you just share your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and a piece of good news. It's that simple. Most people do it in 1 minute to 3 minutes. That's all it takes. And you will shift your vibration when you get into gratitude, and you will also lift the energy of those around you. It's incredibly powerful. Now, Michelle, I'd like to come over to you for a second and just see how you've been finding the Global Good News Challenge for May.
Yes, I love it. So it's really, really good to be able to do that. And not only the gratitude, but going online and going live and saying it in the moment. And actually, I very rarely prepare for it. I just go on, I say my first gratitude, and then all the others seem to come. So it's something that like you mentioned, it does raise the vibration of myself, but also the people around me, even my cats, I'm sure they get it, but also to anybody who's listening, you just feel it in someone when they're feeling gratitude, when they're feeling thankful for something, and it makes you start to feel it too, and then think about the things that are actually in your life that you are grateful for. And there's so much to be grateful for. So it's a great cause that you're doing, a great mission that you're on, and the more people who are grateful every day in their lives, wow, what a beautiful world would be. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely, Michelle. Well, thank you so much for being a global good news crusader. And Donnamarie, I know you'll be taking it on as of tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to your challenge as well. And, you know, love and gratitude are the highest vibrations you will feel. I have my little love heart here to remind people, love and gratitude, the highest vibration. So if you want to have a better experience of life, then get into love and gratitude, because as much as COVID sucks and certain things are happening in the world that we cannot control, there's a lot that you can control, and there's a lot that you can be grateful for right now. And, you know, things can always be worse. They can always be worse. In fact, think about what happened to people during the war times. Right? There's been some horrible things that have happened in history. And at the same time, there's been some phenomenal things that people have done, random acts of kindness, and, you know, so much love, where people have saved animals and risked their lives. You know, I read online the other day about a whale that was entangled in this big fish net, and these people, you know, went and rescued this humpback whale from this massive thing that it wouldn't have been able to eat if they hadn't have got this big net off its face. And, you know, the whale just looked at these rescuers in the eye, and they said it was the most amazing experience. And the whale was so grateful, and it was, you know, as they freed it from this rope, the whale was, you know, it was almost galloping around in the ocean, right? It was just floating beautifully, and so grateful. And that connection with animals is really, really powerful. And, you know, what people do, stories like that, you know, are just amazing. And these kind of things are happening all the time, where as much as we may have, you know, some people being cruel to animals, we have a whole lot of people doing amazing things for animals too. So there's always two sides to every story. It's like the yin yang of life, right? You're always going to have your light and your darkness. So what are you going to choose to focus on in any moment? And tonight's topic is very powerful: access super consciousness for media success, and for success in all of life, really. Super consciousness is massive, and Donnamarie is the expert on that. She'll be telling us more about that for tonight. So without further ado, I'd love to hear from the other people on the live Zoom, and just hear a little bit about yourself. If you could just share your name and what you do, and share a few gratitudes too while we're here. Your name, what you do, and a few gratitudes. And then we're going to talk about overwhelm tonight as well, and how you can overcome overwhelm. Some great tips and strategies. We're going to have some discussion here in the Zoom room. And if you want to pop your comments in to the Facebook chat as well, if you're watching this on Facebook, then please feel free to do that. Any tips you have on how to overcome overwhelm, which is a big issue for a lot of people in business and in life. A lot of people feel that there's just not enough time to get everything done that you want to get done, right? I know particularly high achievers that just go all the time, like myself, of course. You know, this is one of my big stories that I've had, is that too much to do, not enough time. And so any strategies and tips on how to overcome overwhelm would be greatly appreciated tonight for, I'm sure, people watching this, and for us as well. So let's go over to Michelle firstly. Let's hear from you, Michelle. So if you just share your name, what you do, and 3 things you're grateful for tonight.
Thank you. My name is Michelle Lee, and I am part of a team of 2 with Mark O'Toole, my partner, with the Dream Architects, and we help empty nesters to make their dreams come true. And so you would like 3 gratitudes, is that right? Yeah.
Yes, 3 things you're grateful for in line with the Global Good News Challenge. Yep, 3 things you're grateful for today.
Well, first of all, I'm grateful that you have the challenge because I've been able to share, 12 gratitudes so far this week. And it's been a super, I guess something that's really helped me to feel more the gratitude. So every day for the past 4 years, I've done gratitudes, 4, 5, 6 years, I've done gratitudes every single day with my partner, Mark. That's how we got together in the first place. And sometimes it can get to become a bit of a routine where, okay, you say your gratitudes, I say my gratitudes, then we go to bed, go to sleep. And you're not really getting into the mode of feeling it. So it's really good to do it online, be present in the moment, doing it on Facebook. So thank you for that. So that's my first gratitude. My second gratitude, my cats. I absolutely am so grateful for my 2 cats. They are Mr. Whistler and Mishka. They just provide me with so many moments of joy during the day, a lot of distraction as well, but they do help me with my overwhelm. So they do help me to zone out and become present again. My third gratitude is that, I'm grateful for all mums. All mums, it's Mother's Day coming up. So very grateful for my mum, for myself being a mum, for the opportunity to be able to raise children. And even though we may not get it right every single time, we ourselves are learning from our kids, from our journey with the children. So grateful for that experience as a human being.
Beautiful. Fantastic, Michelle. And while you're there, since you have something very exciting coming up, would you like to share about that? Because it's not far away.
All right. Thank you for that too. That's my Empty Nester Mums Empowerment Program, a 3 program starting May the 13th, so next Thursday. And that's 7 p.m., 7 to 8 p.m. And then Friday, again, 7 to 8 p.m. and Saturday, the 15th, from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. And that's to help empty nester mums who are feeling a bit lost, a bit lonely, maybe feeling a little bit irrelevant and feeling maybe that they don't matter after the kids have left home, to feeling that they're empowered and on purpose.
Beautiful. I love it. And where can people get the link for that?
So if you just go to thedreamarchitects.com, there will be a pop-up that will come up, and it's the link to the event, the Mums Empowerment Program. And you just follow that to an Eventbrite link.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, if you could share that here in the Zoom chat, that'd be great. And then, or you can share it on Facebook on my profile. I've just shared the live stream out to quite a few groups and pages as well. So you could share it either in there or share it in the Zoom chat, and we'll make sure any links that we mentioned today that we've got them into the chat so everyone can access that. And welcome, Nikki and Robert. Great to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Michelle. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we'll come to our special guest speaker. We'll come to her last because we're going to hear more from her. So we'll come back to Donnamarie and let's hear from Nikki or Robert, who would like to share. Now, you don't have to, of course, but what we're doing is we're just sharing our name, what we do, and 3 things we're grateful for. So Nikki or Robert, are either of you up for that? Just unmute yourself if you are. If you want to pass, then you can pass, but we'd love to hear from you. And of course, Michelle is from Mount Tamborine. I'm from Southport on the Gold Coast. And we have Donnamarie is from Beachmere, right? Southeast Queensland, is that right? Beachmere, yep. Nikki, where are you coming to us from?
Mount Coolum on the Sunshine Coast.
Oh, beautiful. Welcome all the way from another gorgeous part of the world. Wow. Yeah. Fantastic. And Nikki, what do you do?
I'm a Parkinson's disease coach, and a NDIS peer support advocate for people with Parkinson's, getting into the NDIS scheme. And I'm a smoothie massage coach, and I'm a women's change coach.
Wow, amazing. And what are 3 things you're grateful for today, Nikki?
Making it here at all.
Yay, well done.
Streaming it down the highway from a client, so I'm very grateful to be here. And I'm very grateful to have heard about this, and grateful for the day. Had a wonderful day today.
Fantastic. And how did you hear about it?
How did I hear about it? Oh, it's been so flat out the last couple of days. It flew into my inbox. It came onto Messenger. from a friend of mine. I just passed by her Facebook. It was on her Facebook and it popped up and then came on my message.
Oh, very good. Well, thank you to whoever that friend was. Thank you for sharing the love. Excellent, Nikki. Well, great to have you here. Fantastic to have you. And we're going to be sharing soon about overwhelm, how to overcome overwhelm, and also access super consciousness for media success. So you can ask questions here if you have any. It's going to be a very free-flowing conversation tonight. So welcome, welcome. If you have anything you want to promote too, you're more than welcome to promote here. Do you have anything coming up, Nikki, that we can support you with?
I have just formed a charity called Parkinson's Disease Community Advocacy, Sunshine Coast. And Parkinson's disease is a hidden disease in our society, and the numbers quoted are 100,000. It's more than double that. And I'm just flagging our not-for-profit charity. We're going to have events coming up very soon as we get going. And that's to get 3 community-based Parkinson's nurses onto the Sunshine Coast as a pilot study for the rest of Queensland.
Wow, amazing. And do you have a Facebook page or anything that we can?
Yes, we do have a Facebook page. How about I post it in the chat? I'll have to go look it up. Sorry, I'm still in arrive mode.
No, that's great. Well, welcome, welcome. And yes, please pop into the Zoom chat and also on Facebook. If you could pop in the comments under the Facebook Live. This is being streamed into the Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook, and it's also on my personal profile. So I will pop that link into the Zoom chat for anyone who has links they want to share in that. I'll just pop that in right now. So please copy your links over to here so that we don't miss anything. So this is where you can see the live stream now on that last link I've just shared. Please pop into the comments there, any of your links, so we can help promote you. We're all about helping to get you out there. So that's a fantastic initiative, Nikki. Congratulations on that. And we will definitely spread the love here with the Mass Media Tribe group. Thank you so much, Nikki.
Just add one more thing in, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes, sure.
Another thing I'm grateful for, terribly grateful for, I was the 2019-2020 Queensland Community Hero for the work I do with Parkinson's, and I'm very grateful for that award structure and what it's enabled me to do since.
Wow, fantastic. Well done. Well done. That is awesome, Nikki. And it's great to celebrate that. You know, a lot of people go through life as unsung heroes, you know, and they kind of play down their success. And, you know, I think it's really important to celebrate your success. And I think that's a real honor and something definitely that is worth shouting from the ceiling. So in a safe way, of course, be very careful if you get up on any ceilings, but you know what I mean.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Now, Robert, are you with us, or are you incognito? Are you naked? Can you hear us? Let's see if Robert shows up. If he doesn't, he may be in the bathroom or having a shower, or God knows. But Robert, if you would like to join us, then we'll let you unmute yourself. But in the meantime, let's go over to Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart, our beautiful guest speaker for tonight. So if you could just share what you do and 3 things you're grateful for, that'd be great.
Lovely. Thank you. Thanks, Audwin. So hello, everyone. And what I do is my business is called Soul Speak, and it's under the umbrella of Global Hum. So my big vision is basically focusing on children. However, it's all around soul and consciousness. And it's focusing on children because we all have these experiences, lived experiences, as well as ancestral heritage experiences from our soul that creates the experience that we're having in this lifetime now. And my goal is to, and I wrote this at TEDx South Bank a few years ago, to collaboratively create social and cultural change to honour children and improve communities globally. So that's my big umbrella. And by doing that, we then address all of these things, like what we're addressing tonight, including overwhelm and accessing superconscious for business success and life success in general, and improving communities and improving via education, the bigger picture lives of the children that are in our communities here in Australia and globally, and connect with a lot of people in relation to doing that kind of work. So that's my big picture. And at the moment, so there's a big focus on parenting, and that parenting comes in relation to children as well as parenting ourselves. parenting our business, parenting our community. So it's an unparenting picture and then a reparenting based on kindness. So that's that. And so I was going to say, I write, so I'm a columnist and a writer. I'm currently writing a couple of books actually along the same lines, but it's all generally around the same concept and about communicating with respect. Okay, and the things that I am grateful for, so many, and yours were awesome, by the way, Michelle. And Nikki, so love what you're doing. That is so cool. Thank you for everyone who needs that. So things I'm grateful for. The first thing that always comes up for me is being alive, because were I not alive, I wouldn't be having these experiences and wouldn't be able to live this life purpose. So being alive, I'm incredibly grateful for that. And to have all of these beautiful people who pop in, the little sparkles in the world. My son, there you go. He's my big heart space. So he's 13 and his name is Bodhi. So I'm immensely grateful for him. And it was lovely. Thank you. It was lovely to hear you speak before, Michelle, about you and your partner, Mark, and how you met doing your gratitude practices. And Bodhi and I, we haven't done it for a while now, but we used to religiously every night when he was going to sleep. So we're going through the sleep process, we would do a gratitude process. And we can just do it like that now. So what am I grateful for? And it just comes up, it doesn't have to be sleep time. And it just takes you back into, so that again is, that super consciousness space. What am I grateful for? It takes you into how am I feeling? What's my connection with the world? What makes me happy? Why am I here? So that's 2. Third, for all of the freedom, fun, family, animals, connections, and opportunities that we all have. I'm just really grateful that we have these connections that we're able to access that give us meaning and a sense of belonging.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And there's lots of really other fun things that I could say, but that's kind of more me.
Yes, nice. Nice. That is very, very nice. I know that Jonathan is just trying to get on here right now. I can see the passcode here, Jonathan. I'll just copy that again. It's odd that it's saying, so I can't actually copy the passcode here. But for anyone who's watching this on Facebook and you do want to join, I put the direct link in there. Okay, Jonathan, just try this one again and see, because normally it just includes in there. But if not, look, what you can do is just register on Eventbrite, and then you will get in the meeting confirmation, you will get the Zoom link. Okay, so you can do it that way as well. And I'll just put that direct link in here for anyone who's trying to get on to join us on the Zoom. Just register here on Eventbrite. You can always try this one as well. I'm just going to pop it in the chat. Linda Morrison's joined us. Hello, Linda. Linda was our guest speaker at the last Mass Media Tribe event. She's saying, wonderful work you all do. Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And we have our dear friend here also from Pakistan. We've got Neem on here as well. Hello. Okay, here we go. All right. So Jonathan, if you're watching this right now, just register on Eventbrite and you'll get the link. Okay. So for some reason, the direct link from Zoom is hey there, Linda. We've got lots going on. So I just copied the invite link from Zoom, Jonathan. So not sure why it's asking for the passcode, but just maybe go through the Eventbrite link. That's a bit odd. I know Zoom have changed their settings lately with that, but anyway, that's all very technical. So hopefully you can come and join us, Jonathan. We'll keep it. Jonathan's amazing from Adelaide, and he's does some phenomenal stuff. So I really hope he can get on here. And anyone else who'd like to join us, you're more than welcome on the Zoom. Thank you so much for sharing your gratitudes. And what I'm grateful for today, I'm very grateful for you hopping on here today on the Zoom. Grateful for Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart for being our guest speaker tonight. Grateful for all of my media clients, including Michelle and Mark from the Dream Architects, who just had their second radio interview in 2 weeks on Juice 107.3 FM. And very grateful for all the media out there that are doing positive news stories like Juice FM, which is good taste radio, on the Gold Coast. It used to be called Life FM 20 odd years ago. In fact, I used to have a show on Life FM all those years ago. And I was just speaking to Tracy Corman today from Two's Company. And she used to actually do giveaways on Life FM. And she gave away a matchmaking membership 20 odd years ago. And the person that won it, they ended up meeting the person they ended up getting married to through that giveaway on Life FM. So how's that for good news through something that happened on local radio here on the Gold Coast? It's just brilliant. And Tracy will be interviewed in 2 weeks' time on Life FM. And next week, I have another client of mine, Louisa Pateman, from, she wrote a book called Single Again and Again and Again. And she chose to be a single mum by choice and get a sperm donor at 37. And she's written this phenomenal book after having a series of failed relationships and worrying about the clock ticking, as women do. Sometimes she actually went out and got a sperm donor, and now she has the love of her life as a 9-year-old boy, and very happy with her son. And she's going to be interviewed next week on Juice as well. So thank you very much to Juice FM and Michaela Aboudi, and of course the beautiful team at the Brecky Show as well. Thank you so much to you guys. So yes, love the positive media out there. Okay, well, let's talk about overwhelm now. Now, a lot of people I speak to, they talk about how busy they are and how stressed they are. And I've noticed a lot of anxiety coming up for people around how much there is to do and how little time there is to do things. And I know this story has been a strong one in my past as well, and I'm very aware when it comes up for me now. And one of the great strategies that I use when I get into overwhelm is just taking a deep breath to start with, right? Take a deep breath and just realize that, hey, it's all going to be okay. And then the next thing I say to myself, now, Aldrin, what is the next thing to do, right? Because often with overwhelm, I find it's like a million things in your head sometimes, and this is perfect with accessing super consciousness here, because, you know, we get so many bits of information that come to us, and we try to put it in some kind of order. So I just say to myself, what's the next thing to do? And then I just focus on the next priority and just one thing at a time. Now, another great way you can do this if you've got a lot going on in your mind is you can actually write a list of all the things that you have to do. Write a big, just brain dump everything out of your head, anything that comes to mind, whether it's emailing someone, phoning someone, getting an invoice out, whatever it is, right, that you want to do, just brain dump the whole lot down. And then you can go back over that list then and highlight the most important tasks for, say, the next day or something like that, and then just tick it off as you go. So I find that a really effective strategy as well. And now there's lots of tips also online about things you can do. And I'm going to share some from an article here on lifeinfocused.com. 5 steps to overcome feeling overwhelmed. Okay, one thing they suggest in this article is take small breaks throughout the day. I think this is a great idea too. Even just, particularly if you're on your computer all the time, just get up, stretch, move around, just for, a little bit, go and have a drink, just shift your state, and then you'll come back a lot more refreshed. Okay, there's another thing that's often talked about called the 5-minute principle. Okay, the 5-minute principle is just anything that can be done in less than 5 minutes, just best to do it right away. Okay, so it could be sorting through the mail you've just brought in, or putting your keys on the hook, or wherever you put your keys, instead of the coffee table, or, getting a plate in the dishwasher, simple things like that. So, take on tasks that will just take 5 minutes. So 5-minute rule, right? Or if there's something you're procrastinating around, and actually some people say 8 minutes. So if there's something like you want to clean out a cutlery drawer, for example, right? If you're decluttering and organizing, then you just set a timer for 8 minutes or 5 minutes. And there's a Pomodoro technique out there that's 15 minutes. So, you could just do short spurts of time, whatever, 5 to 15 minutes, say. You just set the timer and you go, right, just for that 5 to 15 minutes, whatever time you want to set, I'm just going to focus on that drawer. And what you'll often find is you'll get on a roll with it. You may end up doing half an hour before you know it, right? And you just get through it so much quicker. But, 50% of anything is just starting, right? So just getting in there and just starting organizing is a great tip as well. Now, here's another one it mentions in this article: step outside the box. So what this means is actually get out of your comfort zone, right? Being confined in a box, it says, limits your thinking. So make a point of stepping outside, regardless of weather conditions, and look up to the sky on a daily basis. Now, I love this, connecting with nature, looking out at the birds, or if you have a cat or a pet at home, just spend a few minutes with your pet. And that's a great way to just refresh and just shift your thinking and just get back into gratitude as well. Appreciate the birds, the sky. The moon was spectacular the other night. We had a pink moon, and it was just beautiful just to look up at the moon. These little things that often people take for granted. Watch the sunrise or the sunset. If you're up early enough for the sunrise. And then there's, the gazing that can happen, the sun gazing before the sun comes up. That's very powerful as well. Here's another tip for you. Cultivate silence and solitude. So take 2 to 5 minutes several times a day to just sit in silence and breathe. And this is great too. Meditating, you can put on some great meditation apps on your phone or online. And there's many apps you could put on YouTube too, although an ad may come in and disrupt things unless you're on the paid plan, right? So, you went through a meditation and then an ad pops up, that could really affect the state of things. So practice the art of nothing. Just take a moment to just meditate. Something I've done this year is I have a calendar that has pictures. It's one of these stand-up calendars, and every day there's a different picture of something beautiful in the world, whether it's scenery or an animal. And so every day I just take a moment and I just look at this calendar, I look at the picture, I appreciate where the picture is from, and then I turn it over to the next day, or whatever. So just taking a moment just to appreciate the beauty of the world around us, whether it's in picture form, which you could Google it as well. You could just Google a remarkable site in the world or something amazing, Google and see. The pictures are really powerful, and this is, I'd say, very much accessing the superconscious too, is when we tap into that, right? And then the last thing in this article is focus on what you need to do first, right? Focus on, and some people talk about the big rocks, having the big rock items done first, or eat that frog. There's a great book on that. Do the thing that you don't want to do first and just get it out of the way, and then go on to the smaller things. Because then it's done, you don't have to worry about it. Because often I find when there's a lot of tasks to do, often the tasks are so much bigger in your head than they actually need to be. And then once you actually start doing it, you realize, well, hey, that wasn't actually so bad after all. It was like a bigger issue in my head than it actually was just getting the thing done, which might have taken half the time you expected it to take. So there's a few tips that I give personally about overwhelm, because it's an area that I've definitely been challenged with, and I am a high achiever. And anyone who knows about the Gallup strength tests, achiever is my number one thing. And so with high achievers in life, sometimes it feels like no matter how much you achieve, it feels like it's never enough. Like there's always something else to achieve, right? And so it can be a bit of a trap when you get in, and I know people in business are often like this too, right? And like entrepreneurs, we get amazing ideas all the time. We're great creators. We just want to keep doing so much and keep contributing to the world. And at the same time, it's important to also nurture yourself and love yourself through this process and make time for you. And something I've been doing a lot more lately is getting massages, doing yoga, going to the beach, actually making time in my diary or my calendar to actually exercise every week or meditate, right? These kind of things are really self-nurturing, is so important so that you can give more to others. So really, self-love is massive. Now I'm going to open up to everyone on the Zoom room here for anyone who'd like to share their tips on what they do to help overcome overwhelm. Who would like to share? Who'd like to share just any tips you have? I've probably waffled off a whole lot there. Michelle, over to you. Michelle Lee from the Dream Architects. What are your tips?
I think you've covered them all now. You've got no more new ones, but I do actually. I do have a new one. When I go into overwhelm, I go back to remembering why I am doing what I'm doing. So it helps me to clear out all the stuff that I'm just doing as distraction, the bits I'm doing just because I don't want to do the important bits. It helps me to get super inspired rather than motivated. So I like to feel inspired by my actions rather than feel like I have to do it or I got to do it or it's an effort I got to push uphill. I want to be pulled towards doing it. So I go back to my why, and my why brings up an emotion within me, an emotion of, yes, this is absolutely what I want. It's filled with love, filled with joy, filled with laughter, filled with peace. That's my why. And if these 10 different actions here that I feel like I have to do don't align with that, then I'll leave them for another day. Maybe I'll get inspired another day. But if there's one there that is, it could be a big one in my mind, it could be a big one, but it's taking me, I know, towards what I want, what my why is, then that's the one I'll focus on. I'll focus just on that one thing until until I finished it, or until it's no longer, I felt like I've done enough of it. And then again, gratitude, coming back to gratitude. I'm so grateful to have done this, celebrating myself along the way, rather than just do, tick, 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 tick off the list, is take that moment to be present, to appreciate myself, to say, yes, I've done it. I'm one step forwards now. So that's one big thing I do, because I am a bit like you. I'm an achiever, and I go, and then I go, oh, I can't go anymore. I'm too tired.
Yes, fantastic tips there. I love that. Thank you, Michelle. Excellent. Excellent. Who else would like to share? What are your tips for how you deal with overwhelm? And if there's anything I've mentioned that you want to add to, or that you also do, then please let us know what works for you. Nikki, you want to share there? You're unmuted. Yep, fantastic.
Exercise every day. That's important, because I live with Parkinson's, but I can't recommend exercise enough every day. Even if it's just a 10-minute walk, makes all the difference. And the new science is telling us we need to drink 3 liters of water a day. And so I have reverted to a drink bottle, and I just walked in the door and I can't lay my hand. Oh, yes, I can. And I go for a 600 ml drink bottle, because I know by the time I've drunk 4 of them in the day, then I'm well on my way, and I have 1 more in the evening. And the science is telling us that that will really help us with our emotional disposition and our feelings of energy.
Beautiful. That's very important. Having water, absolutely, so important. And you can go from feeling very low energy and just have some water and feel amazing. So and a lot of people have headaches too. I often say make sure you have water, because the number one reason people have headaches is because they haven't drunk enough water. And if you think of your brain being full of water, you think of a grape versus a sultana. It's like if you're dehydrated, your brain becomes like a sultana instead of a plump grape. And that's what happens when you don't have enough water. And often we don't have enough water. And I'm going to have a sip right now, actually. Thanks for reminding me.
And I find it very interesting that they say we are already 70% dehydrated by the time we register first.
Wow.
That's big.
Amazing. And we're 70% water too, right?
Yep, right.
And the world is 70% water as well.
Yes. So we're quite a bit dehydrated by the time we register it.
Yes. Wow. So always drink more water than you think. One thing I do actually with that is I have glasses of water in several locations around my house. So it reminds me when I go into an area, like I go to where I'm working on my laptop or an area in the kitchen, I have water around so that it reminds me to keep drinking water. So that could be a good tip too, is have several glasses of water around the house. Fantastic. Thank you, Nikki. Some great tips there. And welcome, Maria. Welcome to the Zoom. Great to see you there. Now, who else would like to share? Anyone else like to share some gratitude tips? Anyone else like to share? Just unmute yourself.
I'll share some. I kind of always like to leave it for other people to
some overwhelm.
Anyway. I'll add some. Yeah, exactly. So overwhelm. Yes. All of those ones you've shared, all the ones everyone's shared, and I think what bringing it all together, what I wish to add to that was all of the activities that we do, all of the movement, all of the being still, all of the going within and also going without into nature, is bringing us back to ourselves. So it actually creates that space of balance again, and it creates that sense of being centered, grounded, and connected to, we're talking super consciousness again. So for me, collectively, any activity that we're doing to address overwhelm brings us back to that space, because that's what we're seeking, out of overwhelm into balance. And I use most of the ones that you've spoken to. And, when I say movement, because movement means running, walking, swimming, yoga, Pilates, whatever other activity we want to toss in there. Meditation can be a moving meditation as well. It doesn't need to be a being still meditation. However, that's really useful. And I think it was you, Aldrin, who mentioned about animals, any connection that we have with any other being. So going out into nature, walking along the beach, connecting with, like the shells or the animals in the water, and the trees, etc. It all just brings us back to that space of centered and belonging and part of that bigger universal collectiveness that we are. I think that's all. I could say a lot of other things, but I'll leave that space for others.
Yes, got it. Okay, thank you. Well, there's some great tips there. Thank you so much, Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart, our guest speaker for tonight. And I've seen here in the chat, we've got quite a few things going on the Zoom chat here. And remember, put your links into Facebook under my profile where you're seeing the Facebook Live. Pop your links in there as well. Got a big hello to Linda Morrison, our guest speaker from last month, who helps people with online courses. So if you missed last month's Mass Media Tribe, the replay is in the Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook. Also, we've got quite a few of our previous events on YouTube, on Media Queen TV channel on YouTube. You can go back and watch quite a few of the previous ones on there as well. So Robert says he's on the road and can't talk. That's okay, Robert. So you're not running around naked then? You're on the road, hopefully with clothes on, and that's why you can't talk. Well, thank you for letting us know, Robert. It's great to have you with us anyway. Happy travels. We've got people chatting in here. Great stories of love and connection. And Nikki's popped a link in there about Parkinson's disease community advocacy. That's brilliant. And Maria, I'd love to know where you're from and joining us. Maria says mindfulness, yoga and laughing yoga are great ways also to de-stress and to help become more productive in the day. I think that's brilliant. Michelle says hugging her cats. I love that. Hugging, patting and playing with our Alaskan Malamute. Elsa, wow, she's a big bundle of love. Beautiful. Okay, from Scotland, Maria. Wow, welcome all the way from Scotland. Fantastic. Wow. I don't think we've ever had anyone from Scotland on the Mass Media Tribe event. Is it chilly there at the moment? We've got questions coming through. Is it chilly there at the moment, Maria, from Scotland? What a beautiful place that would be. You must have a great accent as well, Maria, coming from Scotland. No, it's hot over there. Okay, it's hot in Scotland at the moment. Well, there you go. Oh, brilliant. Well, let's go over now to the amazing Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart. Now, we have our topic tonight is about access super consciousness for media success. So we're going to open the discussion on this tonight. And now, normally I would present a segment on how to get free publicity, but since a lot of you have already heard me do my little segment, we're going to focus on the access super consciousness for media success. And for those who do want to know how to get free publicity, I do a whole 4-hour workshop on this topic that's absolutely free online. It's called Free Publicity Secrets. The next event is on May 20 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I will pop that link into the chat, freeprSecrets.com, for those who would like to attend. And there is an option to purchase a recording. If you cannot make it live, you will get a lot of content out of that workshop. So I suggest if you want to know how to get free publicity, come along to freeprSecrets.com. and you will learn all about it, insider secrets from my 37 years in the media. So I'm not going to talk about that tonight, but come along, freeprSecrets.com. All right, so Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart, all the way from Beachmere in southeast Queensland. Now, this is a hot topic. In fact, I was just last week, I did the 3-day Chris Howard Breakthrough to Success event, which was fantastic. And he was talking about the super consciousness. And we've often seen this sort of iceberg scenario where we've got the conscious mind up here, which is a tiny bit up here, and then this massive, super conscious, unconscious mind that often goes to work when we're not realizing it's going to work, and how powerful that is in tapping in on that. So Donnamarie, if you could just share with us a little bit about your history, about how you came to do this kind of work, and how people can access their super consciousness for media success and for any success in life. Over to you, the amazing Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart. Yay.
Thanks, Aldrin, for that lovely introduction. Thank you so much. And I would love to share this information with you. It's very exciting to be here. And as you mentioned, this is a really hot topic right now. It's not a new topic by any means, but the actual terminology of super consciousness has become a what's the word I'm wanting? So it's an in word. and in. So my background and how I actually came to be working in this field was through my interest in the human condition, basically. And I was very keen on studying psychology. However, I had a sense that wasn't really the direction I was meant to take. So I have studied many different modalities and studied the human condition and psychology, and I'm a qualified medical intuitive, as well as qualified in various other fields also. And on my own journey, which has been interesting, you know, people have in recent times become averse to using the term trauma because they feel that it's actually, you know, I'm very much into language as well, but they feel that it's actually introducing the word trauma into the ether and creating more of that, whereas it actually depends on how you use the word as to what energy it actually emits. So if you use it in a way that has an energy of pain and trouble and overwhelm is a part of that as well, and not being able to cope with life, then that's what you actually put out there. Whereas when I use the term and when it's used in the industry, so in the field, so the experts who are out there doing all of the research and teaching us about what's going on, and Nikki, you would have this experience with the whole Parkinson's world as well. There is a language and then around what it is that you do. With trauma, what has recently, in inverted commas, been realized is that all of us experience trauma. And at the end of the day, most of us will have post-traumatic stress. And we all cope with it and have it at a different level. And my experience was being diagnosed about 8 years ago, I think it was, around then, with complex post-traumatic stress, and then learning along the way, because at the time of diagnosis, so again, a high achiever like you, like Michelle, always out there, full of ideas, entrepreneur, getting it out there is kind of the next thing. And we put ourselves into overwhelm with all of this wishing to put out what it is that we have, because we know it's such a great idea and it can help so many people, and et cetera, et cetera. So I was diagnosed, and then since that time, you know, there has been so much more development and research in the world of mental health, and that has been an interesting story as well. So I'm sharing so much because it actually really relates to where we're ending up in tonight's conversation with super consciousness. And back when I was diagnosed, the industry, so the mental health industry, the psychology, psychologists, et cetera, all neuroplasticity, it hadn't really been developed at that stage. It was still very old school. And since then, they've actually learned that the impact of post-traumatic stress on our social network, on our social tapestry, is what we're needing to address, and doing it collectively as we're doing here tonight, and as there are so many more groups now doing this, because then we are actually putting it out there as a collective, and we're able to address it and give it value and acknowledgement, and being spoken of and to and heard, etc. And that's the style of healing that has been used since the tribes way back when. And you'll find that, you know, Bessel van der Kolk and Mark Wallin and oh goodness, I can't remember the gentleman's name who started that. That's okay, it doesn't matter. They use that tribal connection to Earth and to the super consciousness, so the universe, the world. Others may call it God, and other Buddha, etc. So whatever name it is that people use that suits their actual person. And so with that process of being diagnosed and then learning about ancestral trauma, this is how I've ended up here. And this is how, and I've brought it into, so constellation work is what I was trying to think of before, because we use that in business, we use that in family, we use that personally. And what it does is actually provide us with opportunity to know about who I am, who you are. So you actually find out about your truth. And as we access to that, as we access that personal truth, that true self, then we're able to actually feel this sense of belonging and feel, and it provides us with that opportunity to actually remove the overwhelm as well, because we know that we actually have a purpose. We know that we belong. We may not be absolutely totally sure of what that thing is right in this moment, but there are so many tools available for us to actually explore and play with and find out, and we know, our body knows what our truth is. When you started speaking before about anxiety, I instantly went, so there are so many different places we can go. So Annette Noon, can we see here? So this is Annette Noontil, and this is the body is the barometer of the soul. So we can actually have a look in and have a look at anxiety, and we'll come up with what her version of why we have anxiety and how we can actually explore that. Louise Hay is another one that I have over here. She's kind of like the grandmother of all of that work. So whatever condition our body is speaking to us about, so whatever is going on in our body, cut my finger, stub my toe, you know, hurt my thigh, or whatever it is it might be, or a much more major condition, we can actually access why that's coming up for us in this life and at this time. And yeah, there are so many other tools. So that's again back to the super consciousness, so we can actually access the consciousness to find out, why is this happening for me now, and what can I do about that? And being on this journey that I've been on, and all of the tools that I've explored, and all of the groups that I've been in, and you and I spoke last year, I think it was actually, Aldwin, about, you know, I spoke at the very first Women in Global Leadership conference, which was held in Australia some years ago. And it was really wonderful to have all of this being spoken of then, and also in relation to children. So it's really important, and it's a really big part of what I do, and is to share with people and share with parents, but people in general, how we actually support our children through this process. And the children that have come through now, they are also very much more aware of this energy. And whereas once upon a time, many of us, not all of us, would have gone, these are the rules, and these are the rules I have to live by, so I will do this, 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 and this, so that I don't rock the boat, and so that I'm safe, etc., etc. The children, a lot of the children now go, no, not doing that. This is how it works for me. So you find out how it works for me, and let's work out how that plays out. And you spoke earlier also, Aldrin, and this is a part of, you know, why I do what I do in relation to suicide prevention and self-harm prevention. And this work that I do is relevant to that as well. So what was the next part of that question that you asked me?
Excellent,
so I talked about why I got to here.
Yeah, great. And you know, the topic tonight is access super consciousness for media success, particularly, although accessing super consciousness for all success, of course, it would be brilliant. And I just want to welcome Jonathan Hart. Thank you for joining us, Jonathan. Great to see you from Adelaide. I mentioned you before, and I know we had challenges with the passcode. So for anyone else who was challenged with the passcode getting on, my apologies. We'll have a look into that on the Zoom. I know that Zoom has increased their security, and sometimes they do ask for passcodes, but we'll make sure if we can untick it in any way, we will untick that box so that it makes it easier for people to get on. So before we come to these tips, I'd like to hear from you, Jonathan, because we did mention you earlier, and I know it's an open loop now. It's going to be in people's minds. Who is this Jonathan Hart guy that I've been raving about earlier? So Jonathan, if you'd like to just quickly introduce yourself, and then we'll come back to some tips back to Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart about how to access super consciousness for media success. Oh, Michelle wasn't asked for a passcode. Okay, isn't that interesting? Wow. Okay. So there's some weird stuff happening in the tech space. I know we have Mercury retrograde coming up in a few weeks' time. So there could be some strange stuff going on in tech planets out there. So Jonathan, be great to hear from you. Now, you were on recently on the Free Publicity Secrets event as well.
Yes.
You hopped on the 4-hour workshop, and a fellow media person, worked in radio for a long time. So, so could you let us know a little bit about you?
Sure. So these days I am calling myself the ethical disruptor, aka also the pub whisperer. So I've got a mission to help people with their mental health in pubs, get them back on track with a pub supporting people day. So that's the groundwork to get me to the ethical disruptor, which is probably going to be my life's work, because there's so many corporations that need a bit of ethical disruption, or at least there's a lot of industries, I should say, that need ethical disruption. But I'm a journalist by trade, I suppose. I was a Young Journalist of the Year award winner back in 2000 in Adelaide. And then I just became a bit disillusioned with it, and then went into radio. And that was fun. That was talkback radio. And that was really a lifetime away. But then, I did learn some things about the media and had to walk away. So, I mean, there's obviously a lot of benefits from being on the media. And the more, just a little bit about me, the more ethical businesses out there that can get on the media, I think the better the world will be. And hopefully the media will report on it.
Yes, well, we're seeing a lot more positive media out there now, which is very refreshing in this space. And Jonathan and I had a good chat after the Free Publicity Secrets workshop last time. And it was good to see your feedback there too. So, while you're here as a fellow media person, you gave me an amazing review, by the way. Thank you so much for that review as a fellow media person. And we were talking about how often, it can be very negative in the news, right? And how frustrating the whole industry can be. But it's great to know that there are a few journalists out there standing for good news, and that is growing.
Yeah. Well, if you could introduce them to me, I mean, I know that we're going to work together, but I would love to meet them, because, I've still been trying to send out information to some local Adelaide ones, and it's really miss at the moment. So I've got a great story. I've got a really good story right now that will just blow the lid off of I'll just mention it. Business SA didn't do the right thing by me and another Adelaide company, and they didn't support us out to South Australian businesses, and they went to a Victorian business, but nobody in Adelaide wants to cover that. See?
That's a little bit controversial for some of the Adelaide press, by the sound of it.
Yes, too much. Yes,
I'm sure there will be media that will cover it, though. There's a lot of controversial truth outlets online that are reporting on things that the mass media, mainstream media, mass media are not reporting on. So it's just a matter of getting the right message to the right people, right, and packaging it up in a way that they will like. And, there's definitely potential there for you, Jonathan, with that. And just very quickly, because we shared around the room before, just very quickly, 3 things you're grateful for.
Happiness, joy, and laughter.
Beautiful. Nice one. Excellent. Well, thank you for that, Jonathan. Welcome from Adelaide, all the way from Adelaide. We have Maria from Scotland. We have people from all over the place here. People from Sunshine Coast. Nikki over there from Sunshine Coast. Gold Coast, Michelle. Robert, where was Robert from? Did he say where he was from?
No, he didn't actually.
Oh, he didn't mention. Robert, where are you from if you're watching this? Love to know where. I know he was driving. He wasn't naked. We thought he might have been naked there for a minute, but he wasn't. He was in his car. Well, I don't think he'd be naked in his car. I'd say we'd probably have clothes on. But anyway, let's not go there. We're getting all these pictures of you, Robert, because we can't see your face. But it's all good. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so back to you, Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart. So how to access super consciousness for media success. What are your top tips for us today?
Well, I was going to add top tips, and then I thought, I'm listening to you and I'm listening to Robert, and Maria is also in a community journalist. So I thought, rather than me coming from my perspective as to what my top tips are, where is it that you think you are not, or where is it that you would like some ideas around in relation to your media success that you think you're not getting it at the moment in relation to super consciousness, or just generally, because it's all super consciousness? So we'll start from there.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest challenge that I find in answering that question, and you know, Jonathan being on radio, Maria in the media as well, the biggest challenge I find for people is just overcoming their fear. And you know, I would say that a lot of this fear is coming up from potentially things in the superconscious that people aren't aware of, right? And it comes out in various excuses, such as I'm not ready yet, or you know, my website's not ready, the sales funnel's not ready, Facebook page not ready, I need to get a new photo shoot, all these kind of, you know, don't have enough time, don't have enough money, you know, all those kind of excuses come up, which is generally fear-based. So I would love to know how to access the super consciousness to overcome those kind of fears, and how to even get conscious where we're unconscious about what may be stopping us in life in any area. And I'm certainly not perfect. You know, there's certain areas that I procrastinate, and I, you know, don't want to do things in some areas of my life. And, you know, there could be blockages there for me that I can't see. So I'm talking in general right across the board here. I'm certainly not perfect, but I do find that when people come to look to get media coverage and get publicity and step up in some way, there's a whole heap of fear that can come up for people. So what do you think about that?
Wonderful. That's perfect. Firstly, the one thing that I always like to address is when people talk about perfection, like there is no such thing as perfect, I'm not perfect, etc. We are, and I know that you know what I'm about to say, we are all perfect in our own way, as our own unique self. And some people use the term perfectly imperfect, but I just go, we're all perfect. We're in the perfect space, in the perfect time, doing the perfect thing, whether we want to label that as procrastination or having fear or having fun or whatever it is. You know, we are in exactly the right space at the right time on our individual journey, learning what it is that we need to be learning right now, having the experience we are to be having right now before we take the next step into the next experience. And in relation to fear, and I totally get all of that, because I'm human too, and I do all of those things too. And I pull myself back, and I'm really grateful that I've learned to do that. And it's not pulling yourself back; it's actually returning to self. You know, and I always come back to that, because when we go out into that ether of oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my goodness, or whatever other term we use, as to I'm not able to do this, and it's that overwhelmed space again, or I can't go out and do that, or what if, that's all outside of ourselves. That's all out there, and we have no control over it. All we have control over is what's going on in our body. So the tips that I would highly recommend, Aldrin, are all of those ones that we spoke of before in relation to how do we address anxiety, because anxiety is the beginning of the process. We step into the what ifs, we step into the I'm not enough, we step into the I'm not good enough, and all of those other elements, those old stories that are, you know, intergenerational again, and conditioned throughout many generations about not being good enough. And my biggest, the thing that I always return to myself, you know, as well as going, you know, doing all of the grounding work and reminding myself, what's the worst thing that can happen here? And, you know, like in tonight, we had a perfect example of, you know, going with the flow. We weren't quite sure how this was all going to play out tonight. We just go with the flow and let it happen. And it happens perfectly, because we allow the bespoke conversation to occur. And that's what's needed to be occurring tonight. So feel the fear and do it anyway. You know, really grab a friend if you need some support. You know, get a cheerleader if you can't cheerlead yourself. And in relation to super consciousness, you know, that is within and without, above and below. It's totally accessible to all of us all the time. Our thoughts, as we know, and we spoke to earlier, are those things that lead us in whatever direction we end up going based on which one we choose. You know, it's like that belief, you know, which one do you feed? Well, that's the one that will grow. So in relation to media success, you're the media queen, you know, so in relation to getting success out there, if it's not happening using the approaches that you're currently using, I would just strongly suggest, and this is a really big thing that's coming up at the moment. So, you know, this year we're in 2021, it's a 5-year, and it's a year of radical truth and freedom. So we have the freedom to make different choices. So you've been doing this for 38, 39 years, what you do, and you're, as your name is, and perfectly so, the media queen for TV, etc. And you provide people with so many tools, and you are so immensely generous at what you do. If what has worked before is not currently working, go, how can I radically do this differently? Who may I approach in a totally different way that traditionally I would not be allowed to protocol-wise approach, because that's not okay? How about I just do that and see where that goes? And I'm finding that a lot of people are doing that, and they're just going, how do I do this differently? You know, and that's kind of like the radical truth aspect, which provides the freedom, because you go, because that whole protocol process, and I totally get that, because that's part of how we live, and it's part of business traditionally as well, is how am I meant to appear in here? What am I allowed to do? What am I not allowed to be? And therefore there is a limitation, and therefore there is fear based around all of that as well. Potentially, it's not just, you know, these are the rules. It's like, oh, that means I can only work here. I can't be all of this.
It's an interesting concept. Yeah. The I'm allowed, you know, like I'm allowed, actually saying to yourself, I'm allowed, you know, and this is something I've worked with Ben Harvey too from Authentic Education in Sydney, who also, he learned from Chris Howard back in the day. And one thing he said to do is, you know, put a sign up as you leave your house, or, you know, every time you leave, put a sign up and say, I'm allowed. Because, you know, we are conditioned to listen to teachers and do what we're told, be a certain place on, you know, be there on time, you know, to work hard, pay your taxes. You know, we're conditioned to be a certain way, and we're conditioned to ask for permission for things, you know, instead of giving ourselves permission and allowing. And the fact too that I found really interesting, that we carry the DNA of 7 generations, scientifically is proven, 7 generations of DNA. So this super conscious, and this, you know, there's stuff in our cells, in our DNA, where, you know, we could be being stopped too without being conscious of that. So I think that's great. What you're saying there is that, you know, what we consider that, you know, what are we allowed to do, or what is the norm to do, you know, and actually pushing beyond that, and just recognizing, you know, where are you stopping yourself with those sort of conversations, you know, because just thinking it will stop you potentially, right? So getting really conscious to what we're thinking and what we're saying to ourselves in any moment, and stepping out of the box and being outrageous. Why not? I mean, you know, PR stunt king Richard Branson, he was outrageous with a lot of his PR stunts, you know, dressing in a wedding dress to launch the Virgin Brides venture, or dressing in a, you know, putting a spacesuit on for the Virgin Galactic venture, you know, these kind of things. Like, what are you prepared to do to put yourself out there and have fun with what you do? Very important. We mentioned laughter here. Maria mentioned laughter yoga, and, you know, having fun. You know, the media don't just want to educate anymore, they want to entertain as well, right? And we need more of that in life. We need more fun, and have fun, and don't be so serious with yourself. Just relax, enjoy. What's the worst that can happen? You know, someone says, no, we're not going to run that story. Even if one journalist says no at one publication or one media outlet, another journalist may hear the same story and say, yeah, I actually really like that, because it gels more with what they believe in. So the thing is to keep going, and, you know, not give up with whatever it is you want to do, and set the intention out there of what you want. Don't worry about the how it's going to happen. Just set the intention of what you want, and then allow the rest to come into place, and picture yourself, visualize yourself in that, you know, with meditation, etc. Meditation and timeline therapy. There's lots of different treatments you can do out there, and different, you know, sort of therapies, and, you know, hypnotherapy, all sorts of things out there that, you know, that you can do too, to really picture yourself in a situation where you have media success, right? So I'd like to open this up to anyone who has questions for Donnamarie about this topic, or anyone has any suggestions around this topic. Is there something more you want to say around that from what I've just said?
I will, just based on what you just said, which is perfect, by the way. That was a perfect follow-on. The thing around allowing ourselves, and, you know, like you spoke about Ben Harvey speaking to that as well, is, again, scientifically, and I wanted to talk about that as well in a second. So in relation to allowing ourselves, belief scientifically is greater than any fact in the world. So whatever it is that you believe, that's what you're creating. So the facts might say this, 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 and this, and you believe this. That's what you're creating. Because your constant belief system that you're carrying in your DNA at a cellular level is speaking that to the world. Whereas, and if you're doing that on an unconscious level, that's even more challenging because, and I've been here, because you may consciously believe, absolutely, that you have this particular belief. I don't have, and I don't have this, but I don't have, what is it called? Poverty consciousness. So if you're believing that, but your life is saying differently and it's showing up differently, well, then where is that coming from? And also, you know, you spoke about ancestry. So this is about talking about using processes as well to help get through all of these things that may be creating blocks for you. When you have, when you have tried everything, done all of the different processes, used all the methodologies, done all of the treatments, and it doesn't make sense, it's usually ancestral. So there are processes that you can use to actually access that and then release whatever it is that's holding you back, which will normally be, and so this is in relation to success in media, so I'm talking about that here as well. So will normally be something that has been something that has occurred to an ancestor that wasn't dealt with in that lifetime. Maybe somebody else has tried to deal with it and that hasn't still been that. So it'll continue down the generations until somebody releases it. So in relation to allowing yourself to be, the only limitations that we put on ourselves are those that we choose to accept, those that we choose to live, those that we choose to believe. And it can be really challenging. However, we have the opportunity, so it can be like a challenge, like your good news challenge. So what belief do I challenge today? Where does that belief show up in my life? Why is that creating, potentially why is that creating not the success that I desire in media? And all of those could be any of those things that we've just spoken about. You know, why am I following the old rules when they're not working anymore? I'm not achieving the success that I was achieving previously. They're not heading down the same pathway. So what pathway do I go now? What choice do I make now that will take me down to a different door? And the person behind that door is going to go, yes. And the person behind that door over there is also going to be yes. And maybe the one over here will say no, because that one actually doesn't connect with what it is that you're speaking of or to. And that's a really big disconnect that's occurring at the moment as well. And that's a super conscious, you know, collective consciousness aspect, is that those who are choosing to go forward and move forward in the higher consciousness and collective consciousness of, you know, taking us towards a better world, in inverted commas, better, to a place of more peace, to a place of more harmony, to a place of less of what we've had before that we no longer desire, to a place of greater support. And, you know, supporting the world and the universe, big picture, and all that's within it, because we are part of that microcosm. And so where I'm heading there is that those that choose to go with that will be those people who open those doors for you, because you're seeking in the new way of seeking, and the old way is going, I don't believe in that, and you're not doing the right thing. So when you're not actually following my protocol, I'm not going to talk to you. So it's really that open and that broad. And it's our, in inverted commas, jobs to just go take the next step. And it was really interesting listening to you speak, Aldrin, because I get taken back to all of my really old sales training. And it's always just, you just keep on going, you know, you take the next step and every no is closer to the yes. You know, that hasn't changed. You know, that is just part of everyday life and what we do. And with our media success, I encourage everyone to just challenge yourself. What's the most effective thing that I can do right now that's different to how I've done it before that will get me to where I want to be? And do I need to collaborate on that maybe?
Yeah, brilliant. Well, we've had people in the mass media community, mass media tribe, and the mass media mastery program that have collaborated to go out and get media coverage together. So, keeping an ear out for people who might be in a similar industry, maybe, complementary, that you could actually go out and present as talent to, say, a TV crew that often look for 2-3 people to interview, for example, on a similar topic. So, for example, how to make money while you sleep. There was a story on A Current Affair about that, where Brett McFall, who wrote a book, How to Make Money While You Sleep, he did a book about that and spoke about how to make money online with different programs. And then there was Andrew Darrell Grant, who talked about how to make money with ebooks. And then there was Matt and Amanda Clarkson, who talked about how to make money online with eBay. Right. So similar industry, all about how to make money online, but just coming from it different ways. So, who could you collaborate with that might be in a similar industry to you, who you could actually go out and pitch several talent, yourself plus 1 or 2 other people that are called talent in TV world, and present a story that that covers a certain point. We have a few other media people here. Nikki, you mentioned you are a community radio presenter on Noosa FM. Fantastic.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. And also Maria, is that right? Maria's also in the media here in Scotland. So great to see all our media people here and those who are watching on Facebook. What stories do you have, and what could you share about how you access your super consciousness for media success, or what are some things that you could do differently moving forward that could help you achieve more success?
I'm actually neurodivergent, so I see it as a superpower. Some people class it as a disability and a negative, but I class it as a superpower because I am a self-advocate for neurodiversity and people with a disability. Disability doesn't define you, you define you. So I am now working for a global organisation called Enterprise.biz, which I will be part of the film and documentary community. And we do human trafficking. We will be stopping human trafficking. We'll be doing documentaries on domestic violence, documentaries on stories that don't want to be done. So we'll be pushing the boundary. So for me, it's important, especially during COVID, that we actually do the stories that people don't want to know about, because especially here in Europe, there's a lot of rise of the far right here in Europe. There's a lot of that going on. Anti-Semitism, there's hate towards Chinese community. So I'm doing stories like that to highlight, to stop the hate. We're one community, and we should have that. We need to stop that. COVID is really terrible right now. India is going through such issue just now, and I don't like watching that in the news. So the company that I work with, we're trying to see how we can get oxygen to India, how we can aid in India, how we can get support to India, how we can, as a community, we can get support to help them.
Amazing, Maria. And you're a self-advocate here for neurodivergent, you're saying, your mental health awareness as well. You're a TV producer, artist from Scotland, and so you got that amazing accent. So good to hear your accent. And tapping is great. Yeah, tapping is a good one. Tapping, EFT. EFT, what does it stand for again? It's got EFT. Whatever it is. Anyway, tapping is really good.
Emotional freedom technique.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I knew someone would know. Wow, what amazing projects, Maria. Your documentary projects, phenomenal. That is fantastic. Well, please share the love with us if there's any way we can support you in our mass media tribe group.
Absolutely. So I'm willing to collaborate with anybody in Australia. If anyone wants to collaborate with me, I'm more than happy to share my network. Got a huge network in LinkedIn, and I'm also a community reporter as well here in the UK. So I report on news that people don't want to hear. So, and I also work for Sky PLC, which in the UK as well, that's owned by Comcast. And I don't work in the media in there. I work outside of there. And for me, it's an important, I'm also a trained fact finder. So I find truth.
Awesome. That's great. So you are a divergent yourself. You are a truth seeker and a truth speaker by the sound of it.
Yeah, to me, it's really important. Sometimes it's really hard, and sometimes you do get a lot of bullying and harassment if you've got neurodivergent, because they don't understand that you can do lots of different things. So there is a lot of discrimination. So I'm there to show, and I've put it on my LinkedIn, if you don't like the fact I'm neurodivergent, don't look at my profile. You can off, and not like that way, but just to say, here, I stand.
Yeah, amazing, Maria. Thank you so much for that. So we'll definitely connect with you on LinkedIn. Maria Zani, Z-A-N-I. And actually pop your link, if you like, Maria, into the chat on LinkedIn. And we can connect with you there. That would be brilliant. And I know Michelle has to run off now. Thank you so much for joining us, Michelle. Before you go, I would love to get a group photo of everyone. Can we do that very quickly? I know we are on live, and for those that aren't on the Zoom, I'm sorry, you're not going to be in the group photo, but I would love to get a nice smiley photo. And Robert, we now know where Robert is from as well. Thank you, Robert, for sharing. He says he is originally from the Gold Coast. At the moment, he's in Adelaide, so probably near Jonathan somewhere. And he is part of a project to build up a new hotel in Murray Bridge. There you go, great connection, Jonathan and Robert there. Considering that Jonathan works in the pub space as well. So there you go. Robert and Jonathan, do connect after this if you haven't already. Okay, so let's get some photos quickly before Michelle runs off. So just looking at your camera, and for those watching this on Facebook, you want to maximize your Zoom room space and fill up your camera with your face. Okay, big smiles looking at your camera. Cheers. For those who want to show their face, of course. Let's see some Zoom hands. And hey. Yeah, thank you so much. I'll share those on social media. We can connect that way too. Thank you for joining us, Michelle. Congratulations on your Juice FM coverage. And you're also going to be in Get It magazine. And we've connected you with Sheila Mack. Hopefully you'll be doing a podcast interview there and other media appearances. So stay tuned with the Dream Architects. Check them out. And their amazing Empowering Mums program, Empowering Empty Nester Mums program for Mother's Day. Thank you, Michelle. And we're going to keep going here. We've got some giveaways very shortly, and we're discussing here Access Super Consciousness for Media Success. So has anyone got any questions for our beautiful speaker here, Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart from Beachmere? Any questions or any comments around this topic that you would like to make? Nikki, I can see you're unmuted there. Do you want to share something?
Oh. Am I? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. I was just thinking about that question. I've been on 6 or 7 podcasts in the last couple of weeks. The Australian Awards podcast, Coffee and Contemplation with Susan Dunlop. I've run a series of interviews on my radio program about local heroes and how we all have heroes next door to us. And I was running through all those things thinking, okay, what's the common thing? And I think, and I was on radio last week, and I, you know, with COVID, I was there sitting at the bench ready to go on the phone, and the Premier of Queensland went on too long, so they had to wipe my interview out. And they said, oh, will you be right for tomorrow morning? Same time, see you then, bye. And I thought, oh, well, there's no time to be nervous, is there? You just have to go on wearing your best face, breathing, water next to you, knowing what you want to say, because you never know how much shorter it has to be. And I'm trying to avoid using the word confident, because that's a whole entity in itself. But feeling your heart space power has to be in sync in the moment, I think, to do well in a media situation. that comes along for you.
I like that. Your heart in sync. I really like that. And, you know, being really present in media interviews is important too. And because a lot of people get nervous thinking, oh, there's thousands of people, millions of people watching this right now. In fact, the first time I was on TV on Channel 7 when I was 11 years of age, I was in the Sydney studio on Cartoon Connection for table tennis because I was a top junior table tennis player at the time, and I was with my brother in the studio in Sydney, and there was this massive camera in front of us, which is about the height of me at the time. And I remember the reporter looking at me, the TV host, saying, just don't think of the 2 million people watching this right now.
Thank you.
And yeah, and so all I thought about was the 2 million people watching this, and I completely freaked out, and it was the worst interview ever. So the thing is to, you know, when you're being interviewed, just really connect with that person
within yourself.
Yeah, connect with the person there, and you know, really take the attention off yourself. So focus on being of service and just let go and let God, or let go and let it flow. And taking those breaths is so important. So noticing your heartbeat and you know, and keeping the flow too. I think having passion in your voice when you're doing particularly in radio, you know, having that passion when you're on radio. We don't want dead air on radio or podcasts for that matter. If we can't see you and we've got pauses in your conversation, you know, when you're public speaking, the pause is very powerful, but when you're on radio, it's not powerful at all. In fact, people change, they change frequency. They turn to another radio station if there's dead air, as they say in radio. Right? Jonathan would know this as well, being a radio guy. And, you know, Nikki being community.
Dead air is like the longest minute you've ever lived through.
Yes.
It's only 10 seconds.
Yes. So you need to keep that flow and, you know, really get in the zone. It is really quite an art form. And you know, with practice, you'll get better at it, etc. But the main thing is just to be yourself and just really connect and be present with the person who's chatting with you. Because it's just like now, we're just having a conversation, you know, and just allowing things to flow as they flow, you know, which is why I don't like to have a series of set questions that I ask people. When I do my interviews with people on Media Queen TV, I like things to flow. And generally we cover a bit of the history, what they're doing now and how they help people, and where people can connect with them, right? That kind of goes like that, and then it can go anywhere in between. Right? So, you know, and that's where you get really great conversations, where you go to places that you maybe weren't expecting to go to, rather than having a really rigid, structured interview where, you know, it's like someone's reading from a script rather than coming from the heart.
Yes. The other thing I like to do when I'm interviewing people is actually give them the framework of 10 or 11 questions, which kind of covers, it's very loose, but it covers everywhere we might go. So they've had a little time to think about it, but then we'll only do 2 or 3 or 4 parts of that, because as you say, it leads to other areas that you wander through and explore together, which makes it very special.
Yeah, so that'll give people a bit of an idea, but do not expect, if a journalist gives you a list of questions, do not expect that the conversations are going to flow that way. But, you know, it's great as a jogger for getting ideas on what could be covered. I think that's a good idea, particularly for those who are a bit nervous. You know, I think that is a good idea. So, yeah, so, you know, everyone's got their own style, and, you know, we're all, you know, perfectly imperfect, as Donnamarie said there, perfectly imperfect. And it's perfect where you are. And also with this journey of media success as well, it's important to get that where you are right now is absolutely perfect, right? Because every decision you have made has brought you to this point. Every single decision, and there's nothing wrong with where you're at, right? Because where you're at is exactly where you want to be at, because you've created life that way, right? So if you want something different moving forward, it's going to take some different actions, as Donnamarie mentioned. It's going to take stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things maybe that in the past you may not have done. As they say, you want a different result, you've got to take different actions, right? And, you know, you can stay in comfort zone for the rest of your life if you really want to, because that's where most people stay. That's, I'd say 80% of people are in comfort zone because it's comfortable, right? It takes something to step up. And the more you step up in the media, there's going to be more people that love you and more people that hate you. So you need to be okay with that too, right? And be in your truth, because the number one regret of those dying is living a life not true to themselves. And so what can you do that's in line with living a life true to yourself, that you absolutely love and that you're passionate about and that moves you to the core? You know, what do you stand for in life that is bigger than just what you do, for example, right? What is your why? What is your bigger purpose on the planet? what is it that when you see something, it saddens you, or it angers you, or it moves you? It's like a prompting in some way to do something about it. Like for me, animal cruelty is something that for years upset me, and I felt very angered and upset, and I didn't know what to do to help animals. And then I created the world's first Animal Action Day in 2007. We've done 14 annual events now for animals, raising funds for different causes every year. And I thought, if I can just put an event on and encourage everyone to just take some action for animals, then we can make a bigger difference for animals, right? And sometimes with our big why and our purpose, sometimes it seems like such a big thing, a mission to take on, whether it's abuse or whatever it is, PTSD or, mental health issues or whatever it is. There are some massive issues out there. Just start somewhere, just do something. Even if it's just sharing a post on social media, it can make a big difference, right? But then coming back to what we talked about earlier about overwhelm, if you're getting overwhelmed about anything, oh, this is all too much, how can I make a difference as little old me, Well, with the power of the media, you can make a difference because you're accessing hundreds of thousands of people through one story. You're leveraging yourself through the power of the media. So if you have this excuse that you're time poor, right, or you don't have enough money, well, this is free publicity we're talking about here, right? There's a lot of journalists looking for stories every single day. And you could be the world's best kept secret now if they don't have your X factor story right now, because your story is an X factor story. And there's no point comparing a story to anyone else, because this is your journey and there will be absolute gems in your story. You just may not see it yet because you're too close to your story, right? So just get that you do have amazingness to share, and it's up to you whether you want to step up and share that. So anyone else want to comment? Any questions? I feel like I've been talking a lot, and this does happen. I do tend to talk quite a bit. So, so I'd love to hear from someone else. Yeah, anyone else like to share? Anyone else, just unmute yourself. Or Donnamarie, have you got anything else you want to add to this, this amazing conversation we're having here?
To the conversation, you're actually nailing it, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
You are. It's wonderful, and it's everything together, because all you say are the things that I know, but I assume that people know them already because I've lived it for so long, as you have. But you speak to this all the time in this way, whereas I tend to do more, differently, and that's cool. So you're nailing it. It's really, really cool, and I think what it all comes back to, we were talking about accessing overwhelm and accessing super consciousness for media success. What it all comes back to, pulling everything together that we've discussed since even pre-recording tonight, is returning to self, being centered, being grounded within who you are, using meditation or any other technique that you have to actually achieve that. That is the beginning. And from there are no boxes. Forget the boxes. Go out and be you. Who are you? Why are you here? What is it that you wish to do? How are you going to do that? Who cares how you're going to do it? Just go do it and start the conversations, wherever that may be. And in relation to your success, then it will come. And Jonathan, I want to know more about Clubhouse. I'm not sure what that is, but anyway. So yeah, it's all about, and this is what this whole collective consciousness is happening now, is our self-truth, absolute radical self-truth. Who am I? Why am I here? Who am I when I'm not trying to be that person that I think I'm meant to be, to fit into all those little holes and squares and circles and triangles and whatever, because I'm none of those. I'm all of me. And that's all of us. And may I strongly suggest that when you're reading and listening, when people are saying you, or you're reading you, or your, replace it with my and I. It will change your life. It's a really small thing to do. Instead of saying, when you wake up tomorrow, do your morning practice. So when I wake up tomorrow, I will do my morning practice, and my morning practice involves mirror work, and my morning practice involves breath work, and my morning practice involves movement and journaling, and whatever else it is that you do there. But speak about me as opposed to you, and I as opposed to you as well.
Yeah, it's interesting that, because in marketing, they say, you and your are the two most powerful words in marketing, right? When you're talking to a client or talking to someone, because people want to hear about themselves. And however, you know, taking responsibility for my life, for example, I don't want to talk about me, and that's the thing, is a lot of people don't want to talk about themselves all the time, right? So yeah, so the I and you.
There's a way of playing with that. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I'd love to know how we play with that.
Unstable. Yeah, how we play with that is to actually, so when we do traditional marketing, because that's my background as well, communications, it has always been about talking about the person and putting them center stage and connecting to their value and their importance and acknowledging who they are. And when we write now, I don't have an example right in front of me right now to think of, but I'm just doing it on the fly. When we write now in marketing and or when we speak, we can add to that, so, and twist it with, it's not twist it, it's add. So I don't have one coming up. Do you have a you thing that comes up for you in your marketing that's coming up that I can then twist with an I?
Well, I say often, you know, you might feel, something? Yeah, here's one. You might feel like you're the world's best kept secret right now, and we help make you a star through publicity, right? So that's something I would say to a client, right?
So when you're, okay, so that's a perfect example. So when I hear that, I'm hearing, so I'm just going to repeat it, you might be the world's best kept secret, and we're going to make you a star. And that's so external,
right? So
external for so many people. And, you know, if you're talking anxiety and stuff, that could actually start doing the anxiety process for so many people. And what we can shift that to is I still use that language, you know, so from our perspective, we see that you're probably the world's best kept secret right now. And we would really like to support you in getting your message out there. And one of the ways that we can support you is, so if you're speaking to them individually, how does it feel when you say, I am the world's best kept secret?
Right. Yeah.
Because then it goes internal.
Got it.
You are, I am. So you say it yourself, see how that feels, see what the shift is.
Yeah, so
I'm saying to you, you are the world's best kept secret. And right now I'm going to ensure that I get you out there into the marketplace and get you connected via all of the networks that I have in relation to animal reproduction.
Yeah. So it could be you may feel like you're the world's best kept. You may feel, right? Because it's kind of presuming, because you can't, I guess you can't really say you are the world's best kept secret is presuming people are the world's best kept secret. You know, but we may not know that. I may not know that exactly, that people are the world's best kept secret. Right. But they may feel like they're the world's best kept secret, in which case I can work with people, and I do work with people to help them be known, be seen, be heard, right?
Yes. I think where I was, so when you speak to them, are you saying that you think though that they're the world's best kept secret?
No, I'm not presuming that. I'm just saying,
I think that you are. No, you're not saying that. Okay.
A lot of people feel, a lot of people say to me that they feel they're the world's best kept secret. Yeah, a lot of people say that they feel that they are the world's best kept secret. So I help take people who feel that they're the world's best kept secret, help make them a star.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So it's really good what you're talking about, because it's very important to get conscious to our language and how that can impact, ourselves.
Yeah.
How, I'm very conscious of saying you now. How we can be impacted by,
as well. Yeah.
by our conversations. How I can be impacted by my conversation.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, and we are. And like I've become very proficient at saying I, you, we, because it's a collective as well. And
yes,
because it's like I am, you are, and we are. Because when we go just to you know, you're so awesome and it's so amazing. Everything's reflection. Everyone's awesome. Everything's amazing. You know, so it's really interesting when you start looking at that bigger consciousness perspective. And we don't, and because that smaller thinking, you're so awesome, or, you know, he's so awesome, or it's so awesome, is so small, and it's so limiting. It is so limiting, because everything is, we are all one. You know, that whole we're all in it together thing. We are all one. We're this big microcosm of bits of energies and cells and whatever, just buzzing around all the time. And we're one form of that, each of us, our own unique form of that, and how we play in this world. So when we get to look at it like that, we then can remove ourselves from this conditioning that we have. So you and I, and possibly others in here as well, with marketing and communications and language and body language and etc., you know, energy. So for me, it's all energy, and we are all one energy, and no matter what we're doing, we're still working in that same energy. We might want to give it a different name and use a different process to do it, but it's all the one thing. And when we are able to access that space, that's when we're able to remove ourselves from the overwhelm as well, because everything is happening so perfectly in every moment. So whatever is going on for us in business now, success and not success, in the way that it's been happening before in media success, is perfect in the moment, because it's providing us with the opportunity to go, hey, that's actually not working. So it's that thing before, I think it was actually Nikki who said, you know, or maybe it was you, Alden, actually, you know, you do the same thing, you get the same result. That's crazy, you know, insanity. You keep on doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Well, that's not working. So why are we bashing that, and why are we forcing that, and why are we having arguments about that, you know, about that topic? And why are we just going, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. Who's doing something wrong? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong. Everything's right. So what other opportunity do we have? Where can we go? Talking outside the box, don't believe in boxes. So where can we take that thought? What other tangent can we go on? Where can I travel in the, you know, the brainiverse, the universe, to seek something different?
Yes, beautiful.
And have a discussion around that, you know, have challenges around that, you know, because it gets people thinking outside the boxes.
Yes, I know, speaking personally, I know that I am incredibly powerful beyond belief. You know, just like that saying goes, we are powerful beyond measure, right? I know that I am, and I know that I see that in other people. And this reminds me of also a process that we did with Chris Howard during this Breakthrough to Success event, where he said, I am the light, and the light is me. I am the universe, and the universe is me. You know, like getting, like, as you say, we are so connected. We're connected to everything. We're connected to the stars, the planets. We often don't get how powerful we are as human beings, and we're all interconnected. Just like this picture behind me, you know, we are interconnected. We are love and light. That's essentially what we are. And everything else, I guess, is, you know, judgment, is you know, words, is all sorts of things, right? That we go through life making meaning of stuff. Something happens, we make it mean something, right? Like they say in Landmark, you know, something happens, you make it mean something. Something happens, you make it mean something. And whatever you believe to be true, generally, or I believe to be true, I will create. We will create, right? As individuals. So it's, half the thing is just getting conscious to that, recognizing what we are creating, you know, what we're creating with our...
it is, and it's really easy. Yes, exactly. Sorry, I thought you rarely pause, and you paused, so I started speaking.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say, I know, I do talk a lot.
Good. It was good. So what I was going to say was that it is those emotions. So you mentioned about we give things meaning, and it's when we give it the meaning, and I'm sure Chris Howard spoke to this, when we give it the meaning, it's that meaning that creates all of that, in inverted commas, trauma and experiences that we have in the future, because that event that occurred was just an event that occurred, but we gave it a meaning. And we usually give it a meaning based on the direction of those who are our first carers. So whatever meaning they may have given it, we take that on as a general rule. Yeah, so that's there. And what else were you speaking to? So you're speaking to about how, I was wondering whether Chris Howard got you to say, you know, like, I am the light, I am the universe. Did you get everyone to say that?
No,
because,
he didn't.
you know,
He
that's
was
the
taking
fact.
us
We
through.
are all the light.
No,
I
he was
am,
doing.
you are, we are the light.
No, he was doing timeline. He was doing some a timeline process where we went, you know,
okay.
we went up and then we looked into the future, and then we saw that we are the light, and yeah. So we were in a process doing, and it just stood out for me that bit in the process. Yeah, it was really nice. So yeah, fantastic conversation. I could chat about this all night, but we are coming to the end of our session here, and we do have some giveaways.
Okay, prize
for
time.
Anyone who is still on the Zoom, we do have some giveaways. And if you have any questions for Donnamarie or any comments you'd like to make, please pop into Facebook, wherever you're watching this, or if you're watching it on YouTube, wherever you're watching this live stream, pop your comments and questions in there, and make sure you tag one of us so that we can see it and we can answer any of your questions or hear your comments or any tips you might have about how to overcome overwhelm as well, that we talked about earlier today. We've really covered a lot of ground tonight. It's been amazing. And Jonathan, now you asked about Clubhouse. So just what is Clubhouse? So it's part talkback radio, part conference call, part house party. It's a social networking app based on audio chat. Okay, and it's with Apple users at the moment. I don't think anyone other than Apple can use it at the moment, although I think they are opening it up to other users eventually, but at the moment it's only Apple users that are accessing Clubhouse, and they've got rooms and things in there, and people have all sorts of different topics and speakers and all sorts of things. So there's a whole lot going on with this new audio-based social media app. And so obviously Jonathan is a Apple user, and he's been enjoying Clubhouse. And I've had a million invites to Clubhouse. I used to be an Apple user. Now I've gone back to PC. And there's pros and cons of both, I must say. So we won't go down that discussion, Apple or PC. Yeah. However, I can see that, so I think Maria says she's enjoying Clubhouse. She loves it. And Jonathan said here earlier, just some of the chat here before we go to the giveaways. He says Clubhouse will change a lot of things with radio, he says. And Maria's saying, I'll connect you to a podcast. So great networking happening tonight, which is awesome. And Donnamarie says, everything you desire is on the other side of fear. Yes, absolutely. Jonathan says, I am the world's best kept secret. I feel it. So he may be at the moment, but we'll be working together to move him out of that, because I know that's what he wants, right? We've talked about that. He doesn't want to keep being the world's best kept secret, and he has an awesome message to share. So we'll be working together on that. Okay, outside of the box, yeah, beautiful comments. Nikki's saying super consciousness makes me remember neuro-linguistic programming. Yes, NLP, absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you, Maria. Aldwin, Maria's saying Aldwin, that's cool. Lots of great comments. Okay, let's share the screen now. We'll do some giveaways. Thank you so much, Donnamarie, for that. It's fantastic to hear your words of wisdom tonight. I've really enjoyed that. And I could, as I say, I could chat with you for ages on this topic, because it is an incredibly powerful topic. And there's so much that we can learn from this, you know, and really coming back to, you know, what it's all about. You know, it's easy to get lost in the madness of life sometimes, and you know, coming back to that we are love, we are energy, all of us, love and energy, and to gratitude as well. We've talked about gratitude tonight, to raising our vibration, accessing the super consciousness for media success. Anything is possible for you and for me. I know anything is possible. And so here's to creating great media success for all of us. All right, I'm going to share the screen now. And we've got all your names. Everyone who's left on the Zoom call, we actually have you here in the wheel of names. Can you see your names in there? I popped your names into here, and we have some giveaways tonight. Now, Donnamarie, I know you have a prize to give away. Would you like to share what your prize is tonight?
Absolutely. The prize I'm sharing tonight is for one lucky winner to have a 60-minute, that is 1 hour, one-on-one on Zoom call with me in relation to super consciousness, accessing and improving or achieving the desires and goals that they have for their media success and life success. So they can actually send it down whichever path they like, but it's in relation to super consciousness.
Beautiful.
Worth
Fantastic.
$888.
Wonderful. I love that number too, 888. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
love
fantastic
numbers.
prize. Thank you so much for that. All your names are in here. Who's going to be
My
the lucky
absolute
winner
pleasure.
tonight for that? Oh, you won your own prize. Okay, well, let's just spin it. Let's spin it again.
Let's spin that again. That is so funny.
I often win my own prizes. Maria, congratulations from Scotland.
Yay, that's exciting. Congratulations, Maria.
Wow, fantastic, Maria. Well done. So you've won a fantastic session with Donnamarie Willett-Flockhart.
I'm looking forward to it. I never won anything ever.
Well, you just did.
Up until now.
And Adelaide, we're actually connected on LinkedIn, because I'm going to connect you to a podcaster that I know that's female from the States, because I think you'll collaborate perfectly. And she's an ethical discovery. She's about ethical, and so am I. So
Perfect.
That's quite funny.
Awesome. That'd be amazing, Maria. Yes, please do share. And, you know, anyone who's looking for, you know, podcast guests, etc., we have our Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook. So please share any links in there for people that want to get publicity that it could work for. And I'm always looking for great, inspiring people to interview as well for Media Queen TV. So reach out there too. Love to connect. Fantastic, Maria. That's awesome. And I have some media strategy sessions to give away worth $497. $497 media strategy sessions that go for 45 minutes. And I have 2 of those to give away. And the first winner is me. Yay, fantastic. That's so funny. Okay, let's do it again. We both won our own prizes, Donnamarie.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. You won it.
We're on a winning streak.
The givers often end up winning. So there you go. So you've won a media strategy session with me. Congratulations, Donnamarie. And the second one goes to Robert. Congratulations.
Oh, did I win?
Yeah, you won.
Oh, I missed that bit. Wow, thank you.
You did. Now, does anyone else have a prize they want to give away tonight? Anyone have a prize? If not, can we see? No other prizes. Okay, so I am going to gift another media strategy session to Nikki as a thank you for being on tonight and staying till the end. So all of you get to win that. And Maria's won Donnamarie's prize. So everyone's a winner, baby, tonight. Everyone's a winner, baby. Da-na-na. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share.
That's true.
Everyone's a winner, baby. Yeah, and that's often how it works here at the Mass Media Tribe events, is we like to have everyone be a winner in some way. And you're a winner just for turning up tonight and staying right till the end. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. So I'd love to hear around the Zoom room, what are your best things from tonight? Let's just cement the learnings from tonight. What are some of your best things you've got or ahas from tonight? Who would like to share? What a wonderful night, Donnamarie says. Thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations, everyone. So to reach out to win your prizes, just connect with, just let me know, send me a message on Facebook or LinkedIn. Just let me know you won the prize, and we'll get that organised. We'll book a time in together. And I would imagine that's the same for you, Donnamarie, to get your prize with Maria.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, reach out on social media. Beautiful. Okay, so what are some of the things we got from tonight? What are some ahas? What are some gems for tonight? Who would like to share?
That we're actually all the same. Doesn't matter what part of the country, what part of the globe we are. We've all got the same anxiety. We all have PTSD. We're going through COVID together. So we're basically 6 billion people are going through this, and it's the first time in 100 years since like the 1940s in 1980 influenza. So this is like something that's unprecedented. Yeah, it's like, I think it's like being in World War II again. So this is what I think it is. It's like being in the war, and it's been like in a disaster movie that you can't get out of. That's what I think COVID is. And like as a filmmaker and producer, this looks like a disaster movie, but we can't get out of it. We're in it. So it's to realise that it's okay to not to be okay, and it's okay to have these thoughts and these feelings. Everyone is special in their own way. Everyone has a voice, everyone has passion. It's just believe in yourself.
Yes, believe in yourself. That's right. Everyone has a voice, everyone has passion. And while there's things we cannot control, and yes, it is like being, in a horror movie right now with COVID, it's definitely like something we've never seen before for most of us in our lifetimes. And I know particularly over where you are in Scotland and England, it's been crazy lockdowns over in other parts of the world that we haven't experienced so much in Australia. However, the fact is, we are all one, we are all connected, and it's important that we collaborate and connect more than ever. Reach out if you're feeling lonely at all, reach out, because there are amazing supportive people out there. And with wearing masks and with social distancing and all of that, people can feel very isolated sometimes. So it's important to reach out and realize that, hey, we're all in this together, and there are also many things we can still be grateful for even with COVID happening, right? So I encourage you to focus on the gratitude, focus on the good news that's happening and the great things people are doing, and look at how you can help shift the planet. I recommend in following your love and what you love to do and your purpose to help shift the world in some way in a positive direction. And that's what I've been doing with the Global Good News Challenge, with the Good News Day. And I encourage you to join the Global Good News Challenge. That ends tomorrow for the May one, as tomorrow's the last day to start your 5-day Facebook Live challenge. And I look forward to seeing those. Remember to hashtag Global Good News Challenge for that, and help to lift your energy and those around you. Every little bit counts of gratitude that you put out there. It's all energy, and it's, you are incredibly powerful. And I know I'm incredibly powerful as well. We all are. And, tapping into that and recognizing that and allowing that, allowing yourself to shine. With gratitude and good news and love is a beautiful thing. So, Nikki, what did you get out of tonight?
We're all just bespoke, and managing flow is so important for raising your frequency. That was one thing. Being present. Presence is a gift, and when you combine it with passion and mindful focus, then it enables you to enter the grace of life. Life takes on a different focus. Parkinson's disease is a terrible disease, and most people end up broken and victim to it. And my experience is that if you take charge of your life and then silver linings just keep coming and revealing themselves to you. And that's the grace of life. But you have to step into that flow. You have to be willing to put yourself out there and step into it and embrace it.
Well said. Nice one, Nikki. I like that. The allowing, willing, step into that flow. It is within us and all around us. It's just tapping into it, right? It's like the financial abundance that's out there in the world. There's so much abundance out there, and it's just tapping into the stream of, financial wealth and, prosperity with health, and it's all there. Everything's there for us, and it's just whether we're going to tap into that frequency, that energy, and allow that to come through and accept that, to receive, be open to receiving. We've got Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. Now, I'm not a mother, I do have a cat that's 12. I adopted 11 years ago. So I've been a mother to a cat for 11 years. And I do have possums that I nurture and birds, etc. However, for all mothers out there, I salute you. I think you're amazing because I know that you have done extraordinary things for your babies and for your children and creating the next generation. And Mother's Day is about you, and it's about receiving, right? Because mothers give so much often. It's about receiving and being open to receiving. And I think the same with the universal energies and with the abundance that's out there is being open to receiving and recognizing that it's okay to receive. Right, it's okay to receive. In fact, it's very good for you to receive, because with that, when you fill your own cup up, you can then help others with the overflow, right? So it's actually serving the greater good of mankind when we are open to receiving.
Wow, you're speaking to me.
Beautiful.
A time for you, Nikki, on Sunday, and every day. In fact, every day is a great day to celebrate and nurture yourself. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing so far. And I've got lots of lovely comments coming in there. And thank you for watching on Facebook as well. Now, Robert, I don't know if you're able to share anything about what you got out of tonight, or if you want to put something in the chat at all. And Donnamarie, what have been your best things and your ahas from tonight?
So my biggest ahas from tonight, one, staying in truth. It's something that I intend to do, or I have an intention to do, at all times. Doing that is another thing. So that one, staying in truth and sharing that with others as well. And we all have different language around that. So one, staying in truth. Other ahas, learning about confirming the absolute connection that we have no matter where we are around the world. So all of us on here from various locations, and the challenges that we're having as human beings. So we're all souls having human experiences. So the challenges that we have tend to be the same, and to acknowledge that. And when we get caught up in that, so it's reminding. So these are all reminders, when we get caught up in the overwhelm and the anxiety, reminding ourselves that everyone else is having the same story, may not be having it right at this moment, but we're all in the same game. So yes, we're not alone. Yes. And to ask for support and to speak openly and truthfully around what our position is. And if somebody responds in a way that we find unkind, let that go and go find somebody who's going to support, because that's what our world is all about now. So two, and the third one, spend more time with you, Aldrin, have some more fun. And I'm really looking forward to helping or working with Maria and collaborating with anyone in here who wishes to do some work. Everyone seems to have some really great connections. So we're united in our passions and some level. So they're my takeaways and my gratitudes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Donnamarie. It's been so great to have you as our guest speaker tonight as well. Thank you for that. Really appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us tonight and your beautiful energy. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who's been so active in the chat. We've got lots here from Donnamarie. Donnamarie says perspective is a superpower. So you put some great things in the chat here as well. You're a fur baby mum, Aldrin. Yes, I am. Happy Mother's Day to all in here and all in our globe. Human mums, animal mums, flora mums, astrological mums too. I love that. Absolutely. Mums come in many forms. Nikki says, thank you, Alden. Very fascinating. So many zingers, as I stated. Thank you. And thank you for the gift prize. Thank you, Donnamarie. Heartfelt. Rise up, women together. We're all light beings, light workers. Yes, absolutely, Nikki. Maria from Glasgow says, it's been so lovely. Thank you. Love this. You are most welcome. Thank you for joining us from Glasgow and from wherever you've come from. Actually, for who here is it your first time at a Mass Media Tribe event? For who is it the first time? Is it your first, Nikki? Yep. And probably Maria's as well. I think Robert might have come to one before. Just pop in there. Yes, for you, Maria. Well, welcome, wherever you're coming, or if you're watching this online right now and you haven't been to a Mass Media Tribe event, we do have monthly events. And in fact, the next one, I will let you know, we have a very exciting one. And next time is actually at a different time. So once a month, so it's usually in the first week of the month. So for June, we've actually got a different one for June. So this is one for your diary or your calendars. June 3, our next Mass Media Tribe event is with Brenda Edelman. Now, Brenda is based in San Diego, and she helps people do one-person shows. And she's got her own one-person show, and her father actually killed her mother, and she's had to learn the art of forgiveness. A really fascinating story. And the father ended up marrying her aunt, the mum's sister. So quite a fascinating story. And she's going to talk about making your story unforgettable. And I suggest don't connect don't compare your story with her story, because we all have different stories, right? But a very powerful lady. And the reason we're doing it at noon, we're doing it at 12 Australian Eastern Standard Time, 12 till 2 for the 3rd of June. It's not going to be a nighttime event because because of the American time zone, right? So that will be Wednesday, the 2nd of June, nighttime for our American friends. And so 12 till 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time or Brisbane time on the 3rd of June. And Brenda Edelman, who I actually met at a Chris Howard event, believe it or not. Chris Howard has just done Brenda's program. He's actually done her program about how to do a one-person show. So she's an amazing lady. She's been getting media coverage all over the place. Really fascinating lady. In fact, I did an interview with her on Media Queen TV that you can check out as well if you would like to see that. So that's June 3 for our next event. And then the one after that, July 7, we have a Mass Media Tribe event at nighttime again, 6 till 8 p.m. at this stage, 5 steps to authentic brand videos. If you would prefer to see this event from 7 till 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, so an hour later than we're currently doing it, please let us know, and we may change that one to 7 to 9 p.m. Just let us know in the chat, do you prefer 6 to 8 or 7 to 9 normally for our events when we don't have American guests? And that one, we actually have a New Zealand video expert called Nicola Kane, who's going to talk about 5 steps to authentic brand videos. So 5 steps to authentic brand videos, the 7th of July, 6 to 8 or 7 to 9. Your choice, our viewers. I'm leaving it to you. So let us know, 6 to 8 or 7 to 9, pop in the chat, and we will go with whoever wants whichever one the most. So that's July 7, our next 2 events for Mass Media Tribe. We welcome you to come on the Zoom and let us know if you have passcode issues. Hopefully not too many people had tech issues getting on. And apologies to Jonathan. He was asked for a passcode for some reason and others weren't. So very strange, weird things going on with Zoom. So I will look into that too. Meanwhile, the Global Good News Challenge, you have until tomorrow to start your challenge. And we also have the Free Publicity Secrets event. I do a 4-hour phenomenal content sharing insider secrets on how to get publicity, how to share your story. I show go through my whole 7 awesome steps to getting publicity in that workshop, and the details are freeprSecrets.com. Next workshop, May 20 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 4 hours of intense content. freeprSecrets.com. So it's currently 8 p.m. on Thursday, the 6th of May for us here. And what time is it where you are, Maria, in Glasgow? That's a very good question. What time is it for you, Maria? What time for you in Glasgow? What are we having in the chat here, Maria? I'm curious as well. What time is it? Okay, so Nikki prefers 7 till 9. Okay, Donnamarie prefers 7 till 9. Okay, looks like we might be moving this event till 7 till 9 p.m. So far, the vote is for 7 to 9 p.m. for our Mass Media Tribe event.
It's 11:19 in the morning here.
Ah, okay. And is it the 6th of May
Thursday
where
or
you
Friday?
are? Thursday or Friday?
No, it's Friday.
Friday. Oh, so you're the next day. Okay, so 11 a.m. the next day. So you're Friday.
No. I know it's Thursday. Sorry,
Oh,
Thursday.
Thursday.
What day is it there? Is it Thursday or is it Friday?
Yeah, it's Thursday night here. Thursday night. So it's just gone to 8:20 p.m. And so
right,
for you,
I'm
it's
11:20 a.m.
9 hours.
9 hours. Okay, so you're 9 hours behind. So our noon event that we've got, our next one it'll be 3 a.m. for you. So it will definitely be worth waking up, though, I would imagine.
Yeah. It's okay. Because I love Australian stuff, because I'm doing stuff on Aboriginal Aboriginal community. So I do a lot on the Torres Strait. So I go to like really, really early ones there. So it's perfectly fine. Honestly.
Well, we'd love to have you on the live Zoom, or you could just stay up, of course, and then sleep after the event. That's another way you could do it. I must say, I've been up at some crazy times doing events with Americans as well. So I mean,
I'm the same.
Yeah.
It's
I work globally sometimes, and I have to do calls in Africa. I'm up at 4 in the morning, some strange times.
Yeah, got it. So look, as long as you get some sleep somewhere there in the day, I think you'll be okay. So, but anyway, we'd love to see you again. Of course, everyone who's been on any of our events, you're always welcome back. Make sure you connect too on the Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook. I recommend. Of course, you don't have to, but there is an amazing community there that you can connect with. And we do encourage you to share your links and share what you're up to, so we can support you as well in whatever you've got going on. Okay, so please do that. Any final words of of wisdom or gratitude anyone would like to share before we wrap up? And I do suggest save the chat before you leave the Zoom room here. Save the chat. And for those watching on Facebook or YouTube right now, please let us know, what are your ahas? What are some of the gems that you got from tonight? Please let us know in the chat. Or what are you grateful for right now? What are you grateful for? And what are some ahas you got from this event tonight or today, if you're over in Scotland, that part of the world?
I have an aha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Donnamarie.
I have an aha. So my aha is for everyone to go out and be kind to yourself. I'm sorry, a gratitude. So a message rather, to go out and be kind to yourself and just remind yourself that each step that you take is just is another step on the journey, and each step is important as the previous one. And whatever you're feeling in this space, you can choose for that to shift and change in the next space. And if it doesn't, that's okay too, so long as we continue along the path and you're fully supported.
Yes.
The universe always has our back.
Beautiful. Love that. The universe always has our back. What a beautiful
You're not right,
thing.
you're not wrong.
Yes, yes. And everything is perfect and perfectly imperfect.
Absolutely.
And
it's a lifesaver.
Yes, and you are extraordinary. Anything is possible for you. And, you know, as Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world. And as I say, shine bright and light up all those around you. That's what happens when you shine bright, when you step into your magnificence and allow or tap into that flow of universal abundance and energy that's out there. Media success and success in all other areas of your life and making a bigger difference in the world is all possible for you. And it's up to you where you want to take that. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please save the chat, and any other comments, questions, please pop into the comments in Facebook. Thank you so much once again. It's been an absolute pleasure. Aldwyn Alternate, your host, signing out here for the Mass Media Tribe event for May 2021. And we'll be back next month. All of our events are listed in the Mass Media Tribe group. You can just go to the events section there. You'll see all our upcoming events. And also, if you follow me in Eventbrite, follow Aldwyn Alternate in Eventbrite as well, you will also see all our upcoming events as well. And we have 3 things generally happening every month at the moment: the Global Good News Challenge, Mass Media Tribe events, and the free Publicity Secrets workshop, which currently is 4 hours. I may not keep it to the 4-hour format. I'm considering dropping it down to 60 or 90-minute event. So while it's 4 hours this month, I suggest if you really want to get the deep content and amazing learnings, you will get a lot out of that workshop if you want to know how to get free publicity. And I don't hold back on the content. People have gone straight out and got publicity from attending my workshops. So that's what I want to see for you, whether we work together or not. You know, I want to see you stepping up with your message, and, you know, why not access the power of free publicity to help you do that, and the power of the mass media. There are so many opportunities. There's 1 million podcasts just in America alone that you can get yourself out on. And so let's keep sharing the love, share the good news, share the great stories, share your inspiring story with the world, because the world is waiting to hear it right now. All right, signing out. Thank you so much. Thank you, Donnamarie, our beautiful speaker. Thank you. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much
Bye.
for
Bye,
this
somebody.
opportunity.
Thank
Love
you.
light.
See you
Cheers.
soon. Bye.